Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Awaken Healings with Jess. I'm here to bring you a general message. Not really quite sure what's going to come out. I guess you can consider this maybe a weekly woke message as part of my weekly woke series. It's good to be back. I did take some time off. It's been an interesting few months. I believe the last video I recorded was about a month ago, and it was, we were in the season of Taurus, so earth energy, and it was during a tumultuous time period where things were about to get interesting. We had just finished the full moon in Scorpio, which is transformative energy, and since that video, I believe it was titled The Sisterhood of the Rose, so much has happened in the collective, so much has happened on the national stage and on the international stage. So before I get ahead of myself, let's go ahead and connect together. Let's create sacred space. Let's breathe deeply, let go of what's heavily weighing down upon us, on our chests, on our shoulders. Release the tension in our neck. And just release and connect, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and tune us in with the singing bowl. Here we go. Okay, thank you for connecting with me. I'll go ahead and put this aside real quick. Yeah, so like I said, I'm not too sure what messages are going to come out. I've been feeling compelled by Spirit to get on camera and to channel the energy that's been flowing quite rapidly and strongly through me over the past month or so. Like I said in the intro, a lot has been happening collectively, and it is in divine timing and in divine order. And I do feel that with this, I feel like the global pandemic has set the stage for us to slow down, pause, catch our breath, so we can bear witness to the social changes that are happening right now in our nation and across the globe. The topic of conversation is racial injustice, and it's about correcting deficiencies, correcting a machine that has been in place to create and support inequality in our culture. Taking this a step further, what this is really doing is unifying us as a nation, as human beings. And it's about coming together to unite in unity and to create balance and harmony and to reestablish a new order. Something that's more correct, that's more fair and more just, that's inclusive of everyone. And that's what this shift is all about. That's what 2020 has been about. That's what, when we say transformation, it's big transformation. We are all different people than who we were on 1 January 2020, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, think about what's going on today and what's been happening over the past several months. It's unprecedented, it's historical, it's monumental, and the time is now. The time is now, and the stage is set for all of us to pause, reflect, and to bear witness to this change, and to be part of the change, to bring about positive changes, to create unity, harmony, and a more just society. All right, so let's see what comes out. All right, I'm gonna get started using oracle cards. This is the Goddess of the Moon oracle deck, and let me just shuffle these a bit and see where spirit wants me to go. But as I'm shuffling, again, this is a general reading for the collective. It's meant to bring clarity, guidance, and wisdom. Sorry, I had a phone call that came through as I was shuffling. But what I was about to say is it's a general reading, and it's meant to increase our vibrational energy and to give us wisdom, guidance, clarification on anything where we're feeling stuck or if we're experiencing challenges and obstacles. It is June 17th, 2020. We are in Gemini season right now, so the tail end of Gemini. We're getting ready to start Cancer season on Friday the 20th. That's also the summer solstice, so that's upon us. We are also in Mercury retrograde, so that's interesting. What else is going on? On the 21st of June, we have a full moon in Cancer with a solar eclipse. And I believe the solar eclipse will be visible to those residing in Asia, Africa, and I think parts of South America, if I'm not mistaken. But for us, in the United States, not so much. So, but yeah, so lots of things are going on. That's why we have huge energy upon us. We just had a very, very powerful new moon in Sagittarius on the 5th of June, which brought about a lot of fiery energy, and that was interesting. So with that energy, that was the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement. That was the beginning of the call for social change. It was very inspirational energy, very action-oriented, so many people felt called to get up and move, get up and do something. And I'm not just talking about, protesting in the streets. What I'm also talking about is doing things in your personal lives. Economy is starting to open up in many states. Fortunately, in some states, the virus is decreasing. In other states that opened earlier, the virus is now re-emerging again. But people are going back to work. People are moving about. There's a bit more personal contact, more face-to-face socialization is happening. And, with that, there is a renewed sense of hope, a renewed sense of purpose, and there's a sense of beginning, of starting over, starting something new, getting on with our lives, getting back into it. So all that is happening, or has happened, since the beginning of June. So that was Gemini energy, which is a lot of ideas, sparking ideas, a lot of communication, and so many people are out voicing their opinions, expressing themselves through rallies, through art, through music, through all sorts of various media. So this is a very communicative, action-oriented type time period right now. Now that we're shifting into Cancer, this is going to be an energy of healing, right? Cancer is water energy. Gemini is air energy. So again, ideas, communication, intellect. Water energy is intuition, feelings, emotion, spirituality. So I feel like with that, we're going to be restoring balance, because our first card coming out is balance reversed. And I feel like this is about social change, social justice, reform. And that's what we're seeing right now, in the world stage. And I feel like a lot of this is also carrying into our personal lives, right? Because there are so many people out there who lived under, like a ceiling. They're showing me a ceiling. They're showing me being pushed down. And that's no longer okay. This is time to restore balance, restore equality, restore truth, harmony, right? Unity. So this is about correcting an imbalance and bringing an imbalance into balance, right? That's where we're opening up this reading. This is about correcting the past, correcting the sins of the past. This is about taking a stand and using your voice to speak up for those who don't have a voice anymore. This is about being the change that you desire, right? And so many light workers are being called right now, and they've been being called, because this is a time to shed the light on what's right, to shed the light on humanity, to guide humanity towards the light. And many people are going to be doing that. And up next is the path. You know, this is about going towards the light, coming out of the darkness, exactly what I was saying. And you know, it's not always an easy path. It's not always the most obvious path. Sometimes it's easier to stay down here in the dark, in the trenches. But you have to trust the path, trust that, you know, once you make it up this rickety little ladder that may or may not hold you, but you know, faith has you, spirit has your back. They will get you into this portal. They will get you onto the right path, the path of the light, the path of the sunrise, the path of a new dawn, a new day, a new beginning, a new life. That's what we're doing right now as a society. We are forging a new path towards a bright new future. And all of you are here right now at this point in time to bear witness to that social change and to be part of the movement, to be part of equality, to be part of correcting injustices, to be part of love, expressing love, creating love in order to strengthen the bonds of our society, of the human collective, and to elevate the vibration of the human experience. Very powerful stuff. And it was set in motion by this pandemic, if you think about it. The pandemic caused everything to go dark, to go quiet. Sort of like the void, right? This is what's coming up next. You know, it may feel dark and chaotic. It may feel like there's so much fear and so much antithesis happening. There's so much contrast happening that some people may feel like no matter what they do, there's not a way out, but there is. Out of the darkness is the light. Follow the light. Be the light. If it's dark around you, be the light. Be the light for someone. Sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it's up to you to be the light, to guide people out of this dark void, which is fear-based energy. It's the naysayer energy. It's the people saying, we don't need to change. Everything is just fine. There's no global pandemic. We don't need to social distance. It's just media. It's hype. But yet people are still getting sick. People are still falling ill. And it's time to say, you know what, look, this is a pause. This is a time to slow down. This is a time to course correct and to get onto that path towards a new day, a new dawn, a new beginning. And we are. And I feel like with this pandemic, you know, again, I've said it over previous videos, I'm going to say it again. This is about getting quiet. This is about getting in alignment with what truly matters the most to us. And it's not what we used to focus upon pre-pandemic. This is about family. This is about relationships. This is about the people who matter to you the most. This is about correcting the work-life balance. Because pre-pandemic, it was all about work. It was all about the to-do list. It was all about go, 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 go. It's important that I maintain this facade of success, this facade of having it together, of being in control, of getting it all done, of no mistakes. No more. No more. All that's in the past. We're forging a new path, a new dawn, a new way. And it's time for us to just rest, gather our strength, so that when the light shows up, we're ready to take that path up into a new beginning, into a new earth, into a new society. And sometimes it's up to you to forge that path for others, to guide them to the light. All right? Wow, big messages coming through already. This is going to be a pretty intense reading. I can already tell just by what's coming out. I'm going to go ahead and use the Mystic Dreamers Tarot deck. I haven't used these guys in a while. Let's just see. Let's see what messages Spirit would like to share with you all. That this is about a new beginning. This is about massive social change, massive transformation, both externally and internally with each and every one of us. Yeah. This is a monumental moment right now, and you know, what's happening in our society is truly unique and long overdue. And it does create a lot of fear in those who see that maybe they were on the wrong side and maybe that they may lose out on something. But really what it is it's a fear of losing out of power, losing out on status. It's more egoic fear for those who are gravitating more towards a lower vibrational energy. It's more about their self-interest versus what's best for the collective. Right? So let's start pulling some cards. But yeah, our timelines are settling in. We are in eclipse season. We had a lunar eclipse also with the new moon in Sagittarius on the 5th of June. So new moons means new beginnings, which tremendously kicked off a new cycle for us collectively with that eclipse energy that just catalyzed the situation. It catalyzed what needs to happen. And it's empowering us to step forward and take action. On a personal level, there's a lot of awakening happening spiritually for many of us. It's a new awakening, it's a new dawn. And I feel like with relationships, it's about owning up to your shadow self and recognizing where you've been limiting yourself and taking steps to release those old thought patterns, that old behavior, those old stories that used to keep you small. And I feel like right now we're being tested. Many of us are being tested on whether or not we've learned the karmic lessons that we need to learn. And if you've watched all of my previous videos, when we talk about karma, it's about making sure we learn those lessons so that we don't repeat them again. So it's never fun the second time, and it's certainly not fun the third time. So it's always in our best interest to learn the lessons, to carry them out, and to move on so we don't have to repeat karma. We have 4 planets in retrograde, I believe. And Mercury just went into retrograde not too long ago, and that's going to stay retrograde through about the middle of July. So, I know everyone fears retrograde, but this is all about, reflection. So when Mercury retrograde is upon us, think of words that start with R-E, right? And this is a time period to reflect, review, renew, relook, rebalance, all that. It's Mercury retrograde is a time period for us to recalibrate things, recalibrate our plans, retweak things, right? It's sort of like a moment to say, okay, hang on. I don't want to act too hastily. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm going. Am I still on the right path? Can I make improvements? Can I just sort of make little course corrections and adjustments? Yeah, that's what Mercury retrograde is all about. It causes us to slow down and to really put more thought into our words and into our actions and into our decisions. Right? And I feel like that's exactly what's happening right now, you know, on the world stage and the national stage. We're being called to relook at our society, relook at our laws, relook at how our law enforcement practices have been in place and if they're still correct, and if there needs to be any reform, right? Another RE word. So again, all this is lining up. This is no accident. It really isn't. And this massive social change is happening at exactly the right moment that it needs to be happening. So, whew, yeah. So I just did a Celtic cross for the collective. And let's see what's coming out. Oh, yes. Okay, so before I get started, bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. Yeah, this is... The Hierophant is about structure. It's about order. It's about higher wisdom, higher knowing. Some people can say it's a conservative card. Sometimes this card reflects marriage. It could be an upgrade in a relationship. So I feel like on a larger scale, the Hierophant is calling us to rise up to restore order, to rebalance the situation, right? Because our opening card was the card of balance in reverse. And I feel like what's going on is we're being asked to look at our institutions and say, all right, we've got problems. It's time to look those problems in the eye and say, I recognize this. And to get truthful with ourselves and ask ourselves, am I part of that problem? Have I been contributing to the problem all these years? Unknowingly? So this is about, with the Hierophant, this is about getting honest with ourselves and getting in touch with the higher power, with the higher being, with the higher spirit, and to align ourselves with truth. I feel like this is all about big truth, big authenticity. And again, the Hierophant is about order. And I feel like this is about reclaiming ourselves, aligning ourselves with pure truth to restore order once and for all. Yeah. So we kick off this evening's reading with the Ten of Wands. Yes, makes sense. Many of us are feeling overburdened, overwhelmed, stressed out. We've got the weight of the world on our shoulders. You know, not only from the social situation, but the pandemic, right? There's a lot of people who still aren't working, who do wish to go back to work. You know, there's people who have started working, and this is about digging ourselves out of financial debt and providing for our families and restoring order. And you know, it's a massive burden on our shoulders, and it's time to just recognize that you don't have to go it alone. You don't have to bear the load solely by yourself, and ask for help when you need to. Put pride and ego aside and drop the burden. There are plenty of friends and family around you waiting to help you carry some of this load. All right. crossing the 10 of Wands is the Magician. And this Magician is coming in reversed. So some of us may still be feeling like there's no way out. We may be feeling stuck. We may feel like our voices aren't heard. We may feel like there's chaos all around us. But the Magician reminds us to go within. Lay down this heavy load and go within. Because when the Magician comes in reverse, that's letting us know that we're not in alignment with our authentic truth. And when we're not in alignment with our authentic truth, everything goes awry. Nothing is working out. Everything feels unbalanced. Everything feels off kilter. Your relationships may feel strained. Communication may be off. So this is about taking a breath, releasing the burden, releasing that heavy feeling and asking for help. Or saying, you know what? I don't have to do all of that right now. Let me chunk this out in stages. What will work for me? What's immediate priority? What can wait? And what is just something that's nice to have? Chunk things out, right? And only focus on what's truly important. And it's not all of those wands. It's what really matters. And it may be like one or two things that will require dedicated time, attention, and resources. And the rest you can tackle as the days go by. All right? But yes, it's time to get into alignment because the Magician is here. Again, it's coming in reversed. But this is saying, look, it's time to get clear with what you want. It's time to start thinking about your future. It's time to start planning for the future and continuing on with your goals, continuing on with life, and pushing forward to bring about abundance, to call in love, to call in happiness, right? But we've got to get still. We've got to get still with ourselves. Even as noisy as the world is right now, it's about tuning out all the noise and turning within. Turning within and getting in touch with our Emperor, our inner masculine. This is about being the leaders of our lives, establishing order in our lives. Because when our personal life is ordered and structured and organized, and you know what direction you're going in, it makes everything else that much easier. But change starts with you. And this is about changing. This is about taking control back. And I feel like with the pandemic, it gave us this long pause to really just, again, reflect about what was not working in our lives and saying, all right, no more. I'm not going to take that anymore. This is how I'm going to proceed. And this is showing up as the Emperor energy, making wise, enlightened decisions, being decisive, being direct, being clear with where you're going and with what you want and what you will and will not put up with in life. This is about taking ownership, regaining control, and setting a new direction for your future. Four of Cups is sitting in the past position, reverse. Sometimes this can be boredom. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of pandemic fatigue going on. You know, we're coming out of about a 2-month, 3-month quarantine period. It's tedious. It's tedious and it can weigh on ourselves emotionally and mentally. But it gave us time to look at what's in front of us with the 3 cups, to look at what we have, to assess value, to assess our happiness, and to say, are we cool with these 3 of cups? Or is there something better out there? And it may not be clear what that something better is or what it is that you want, but you may just know that you want to change, right? And you're just not happy. You're just sort of like, life is okay. But here is an excellent do-over, a start point to say, all right, look, I know what I don't want, but here's what I do want, right? And you may not have the words to express it, but you know what you want it to feel like. So at least start there and focus on the feeling of what you want your life to feel like. Do you want joy? Do you want love? Do you want solidarity? Do you want abundance, prosperity? What is that going to feel like? Is it going to feel warm and safe? And if the answer is yes, focus on that and keep doing things and saying yes to opportunities that bring about that feeling in your heart and in your gut, because that's going to let you know that you're on the right path towards your truth, towards your destiny. And just let the rest unfold. And I feel like that's what's happening with this Four of Cups that's manifesting. And I think that's why the Magician is coming in reversed, because we're feeling stuck. We're feeling like we can't manifest, like we just don't know. It's too crazy out there. You don't know if it's realistic. Don't focus on that. Don't set limitations on yourself. Focus on the feeling. That's a great place to start to manifest. Because with that, you're going to start changing the world. And this is the World card in reverse. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of a glare. Try and move this to... There we go. I think that's it. Yeah. So this is the World card. It's the last card of the major arcana in the tarot deck. The World signifies a graduation, a completion, a major completion in your life. And we are coming out of this cycle. Again, economies are starting to open up. Movement is happening. Some states are in phase 2. Some are talking about going to phase 3. You know, we're still in it. We're not out of the woods yet. End of the year. Give it to the end of the year. And 2021 is going to be dramatically different for so many reasons. But this World card is what's on our mind's eye. This is sitting in the mind's eye placement of the Celtic cross. Change. Chaos. And it's upside down because we don't know we don't know the end result of that change. We just know we're going through massive change. Fated change. This is no accident at all. At all. I've been really thinking about this, about our situation. I've gone to some of the protests. I went to the big one in DC. Incredible experience. Being an empath, I was able to feel people's energy, people's frustration and anger and pain and just feeling stuck and downtrodden. But in that energy was an energy of hope, healing, inspiration, collective unity. We are stronger together. We are stronger together. And it's going to be a bright new future. Something is dawning upon us. That's beautiful. That's bright. That's right. And that's just. We have to go through the change. And we are changing our conditions. We are changing the rules. And the highest levels of government are listening, both in the United States and globally. Right now, the people have the ear of our leaders to effect positive change. We're going through it right now. We still have a lot of work to do. to get to that path, to lead us towards a bright new future, to a bright new dawn, to a new beginning. All right? Big messages. What's in our near future? The Lover's card. I see this. There's multiple layers to this, okay? Multiple layers, what's going on here. This is about reconciliation with our past. Coming together to create a new future. This is about unity, oneness, coming from a place of love, from heart-centeredness. Love lights the way. Love is the light. Not hatred, not fear, not anger. All that's low vibrational energy, but love sets us free. Love corrects justice. Love creates balance and harmony, unity. So we're seeing that on the global stage. So many other countries are coming out and taking a page in our playbook and protesting in the streets about their social injustices. Or they're protesting on behalf of our social injustices. Massive unity, and it's massive. I mean, you can feel it in the heart, right? You can feel it in the heart space. Yeah. On a personal level, this is about us connecting with spirit, getting into alignment with ourselves, trusting in our spirit guides, listening to what spirit is downloading to us in our dreams, our intuition, through signs and synchronicities. This is about strengthening our connection with spirit, creating that unity, that oneness, that bond. Earlier in the reading, I talked about relationships having gone through a transformation, right? Some of you may have experienced a falling out. You may have experienced a situation where you're both shown your shadow selves. And maybe it created a breakup, a split, a pause, what have you. But a lot of twins are coming back together right now during this eclipse season in June. June is big energy, big energy. It's powerful, creative, action-oriented energy, and there's a lot of love in it, right? A lot of couples are going to be coming back into union. A lot of people are receiving clarity about their shadow selves, about the karma they've had to clear, about correcting situations from the past, about tapping into their inner child and healing those wounds, those inner child wounds, rejection, failure, discrimination, abandonment, abuse, codependency, addictions, all of that is coming up, right? And it's up to us as individuals to heal those wounds, to come into unity, to come into union with your twin flame, with your soulmate. Again, collectively on the national stage, we are healing the wounds and the sins of the past to come together in unity to create a more just, fair, and balanced society. Right? So many things are going on right now in this reading. So many messages are coming through. I hope all this is resonating with you. Yeah. And don't give up. I know this is 9 of Wands coming up and how we're feeling. You know, we started off the reading with the 10 of Wands, feeling burdened, feeling downtrodden, just feeling like, you know, stuck with the reverse magician, like you don't know which way you want to go. Don't give up. You're so close. 10s represent endings and beginnings. 10s are endings. 10 reduces to 1, which is a new beginning. We've got 9 here. And we see an individual who's tired, worn out. She's holding that ninth wand like, do I want to keep going? Is it worth it? Why are we doing this? What's the point, right? So I feel like this is what's all going on in our mind, you know, both at a personal level and at a collective level. What's the point? The point is to restore order, to restore balance, to restore harmony on all levels. And that's what's going to lead us towards a new society, a new world, a new order, right? Our environment card, 9 of Cups reversed. Yeah. This is about getting clear with what you want. What are your goals, hopes, and dreams? What wishes are you trying to fulfill? Now is the time to get clear. Now is the time to take that pause, to rest, to reflect, and get in touch with your high priestess, because this is your hopes and fears card. Intuition. Getting clear, tapping into the energy of spirit, letting spirit guide you. Let spirit wash you in love and light and protection and guide you out of this darkness. Because I do feel like we saw that in the beginning with our oracle cards, the void. Some people feel like they don't know which way to go. There's no light in sight. There's no, maybe some people are feeling hopeless. But with these cards, it's time to tap in to your intuition, release, surrender, and let spirit be your guide. Follow the light. Follow what's in your heart. Follow what feels good here. Remember what I talked about? If you don't have a clear vision for manifesting, just imagine the feeling that you want life to look and feel like. And follow that. And each time you feel that in your heart, you know you're making the right decision with anything, with work, with opportunities, with people, with situations. Let your conscience be your guide. Let your heart be your guide. That's where spirit resides. Let spirit be your guide. All right. Your overall outcome is King of Pentacles reverse. This is about releasing dependence on materialism. It's no more about the designer bags, the designer outfits, the car, right? The big house. None of that. Because many of us are now realizing what that lifestyle cost us. Was it necessary? Because in order to make that paycheck or that salary to afford that lifestyle, you're now realizing how hard you had to work and what sacrifices you had to make in order to do that. Some of you are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, right? I mean, that's a lot. So you worked a lot. And what do you have to show for it? Externally, you have the car, the house, the spouse, the designer clothes, the bank account, blah, 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 blah. But with that, you had the big giant car payments, the big expensive insurance payments, the big mortgage, big expenses, so forth and so forth and so forth. And now, with this newfound perspective, all that's shifting. All that is shifting, and many of us are now downsizing and simplifying our lives, because that's what it's all about. It's living a comfortable, happy, prosperous life, and it's not what we thought it was. It's simpler, it's slower, it's less expensive. And it's going to allow you to save money. It's going to give you free time, more quality time at home with the family, with your loved ones, and doing the things that make you happy, that bring true joy to you. And it's not being stuck at work in front of a computer or in board meetings all day long, all night long, doing business dinners, drinks, so forth, blah, blah, blah. That's fine every now and then, but that's not what life should be like consistently, because it cost you a lot. It was a very expensive lifestyle. And what's happening now is we're being called to align ourselves with our truth and align ourselves with what we really want the most. What do we truly wish and desire? Don't be afraid to be honest with yourselves, because your answer and your truth may actually surprise you. And I feel like that may be a fear for some of you. So, yeah, wow. Whew. Big reading. So we got through the Celtic cross on that. I'm going to pull some Journey of Love Oracle. How are we on time? This is a long one. But I feel like the Journey of Love have messages for the collective here. Ooh, okay. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. All right. So to start off with, we have the card of Heaven. Just focus on that energy. Beautiful. I feel like our spirit guides, our ancestors, our guardian angels, the energy of heaven, the love and light of heaven is shining down upon each and every one of us right now, amidst all this chaos. I feel like this is a divine setting to bring about the change that's long overdue, to create a new environment for all of us to thrive and benefit from. The Holy Spirit, God, source energy, the universe, whatever noun you want to insert, whatever adjective you want to use, this is the energy of love and light shining upon each and every one of us. Listen to it. Let that energy be your guide. Because this is no accident what's happening. Up next is Sacred Convergence. Yeah. I feel like there's just so much spiritual energy around us, so much love and protection. Feel into it. Again, it was what I was talking about having that feeling in your heart, of what you want life to be like, to feel like after this. This is a time for us to create that new life, to start over, to create new karma for us. Big changes upon us with the world. We're going through it. We're going through this cycle. And quite frankly, I really don't think things are really truly going to settle down until early 2021. So for the next 6 months, we've got to ride this out. We're going through this massive cycle, this massive social change, and we're bearing witness to everything. Sacred convergence. Align with the divine, and let the light be your guide. I feel like that's the message that keeps coming out over and over and over. Align with the divine and let the light be your guide. And lastly is the Ancient Ones reversed. Yeah. It's time for us to turn back to our ancestors, to honor our ancestors, to honor our heritage, to recognize our heritage. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed of the color of your skin. Don't be ashamed of where you come from. Don't be ashamed of your past. Because there's a lot of people who have pushed that down to be someone that they weren't, to be someone who was more socially acceptable, No. When we do that, we dishonor our ancestors. We dishonor our heritage. We dishonor our lineage. Right now, it's time to say no. It's time to get truthful and honest and be bold with who you are, with where you came from, your origins, your history. Ask your ancestors for help. In addition to your spirit guides, your ancestors are there to protect you and guide you. They are part of the light. They are part of the vibrational energy that's rising us up and moving us into a new world order, so to speak. All right. Okay, so I'm going to pull 2 more cards I'm going to pull one from the Nature's Whispers, and then I'm going to end with the angel messages. All right. And that should complete the reading. So I thank you all for sticking with me through this. It's big energy that's coming through, big messages, but it's important. It's important with what's going on, and it's time for us to unite as a collective and strengthen our spiritual energy to uplift us and to help us create the change that we seek. So from the Nature's Whispers card, we have the card of be spontaneous. Yes, I like this because even though there's so much noise and chaos and confusion and upheaval, it's time to also be spontaneous. Have fun. Have fun with the change that's happening. Have fun with your life. This is a time to create a new beginning for you, to forge a new path for you. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be burdensome. This is a time period of freedom, of liberation. And these are words that were coming to me strongly over the past few weeks. I kept hearing the Janet Jackson song, Free Your Mind. And there was the phrase, free your mind. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow. Yeah, so that's a theme that's been coming through for me. For being spontaneous, it's time for me to get back on camera, and it's time for me to continue to channel and download these messages. For a while, I was just insular, and Spirit kept nudging me, get on camera, speak this message, Now it's time, and I think you're going to see more of this content coming out because Spirit really is telling me loud and clear, get out there and be spontaneous with the readings. Just channel and see what comes out because it's divinely guided, right? All right, so our last card is Chantal. New romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. Oh my God. That is perfect. I think that is an extraordinary way to end this reading. Because we saw love, we talked about the different types of love coming into our future with the lovers. It could be an existing relationship. It could be something new. It's about giving and receiving love for whatever that means. Because love comes in many shapes, forms, fashions. Be open. Be open to love. Come what may. All right? So, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you all are doing well. Stop by my website, awakenhealings.org, to check out my services and to work with me one-on-one if you're interested. But take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Happy solstice. Take care. Love you all.